Today's program takes us back to 1977, thanks to a Super 8 film projectionist who took film footage of Adi K. Irani, Meher Baba's intimate disciple and secretary, who hasn't been recorded really on videotape before, but thanks to Super 8 film we have him. We have excerpts from his visit at the Los Angeles retreat in 1977, and also a little portion of a visit by Rick Chapman at the same retreat. So let's begin with the 1977 Los Angeles Sahavas film footage.
The natural thing to do would be to look over around the people in the room to find him, and not to go too fast so as to go past him and then, of course, Keshan Gajwani and Sigimporia were the two people that had greeted me, and it wasn't 5 minutes before they said, "Well, we hear you're going to see Meher Baba," and that was the first I heard of it. What had happened was that Adi had sent a letter a few days before to my address in Ahmedabad, about 200 miles north of Bombay, saying that Baba would see me on the 17th of August with a couple of other people at such and such a time, and that I should notify him right away if I were able to make that appointment. But that letter arrived the day that I left, the day following my departure. So my first word of this meeting was through these two people, and they must have thought I was absolutely nuts and totally coy, because I said, "No, I've just come to visit you Baba lovers," because they knew that this meeting was set up, assumed that I knew it, and what kind of response would that seem to be? "No, I fully content just to meet with you Baba people here." And they said, "No, we know you're meeting with Baba in a few days." I said, "No, you're wrong." I think my impression was that they had assumed that that's why I was coming, and I was simply quite firm. I said, "No, I'm not." And they said, "Well, we have a letter to that effect." And at that point it began to dawn on me that quite out of the blue, and within about a month and a half of my stay in India, something quite amazing was in the works. When we discovered Baba, he was about a full body length of a normal-sized American away, seated in his chair in the corner of the room, beaming in such a fashion as to put the "Don't Worry, Be Happy" poster out of print. A mere grimace. He was just completely enlightened, with a smile that said everything, and his arms were open like this, and I went over to him and hugged him and embraced him on the other side. And I sat down almost immediately, and Eric said, over here, and I came back a few steps and sat down along the wall that faced his chair. Immediately Baba began to gesture. And immediately as I had moved away from him, Bao, one of his longtime mandali, moved into place with his back toward me and began massaging Baba's calves. Something I had asked Bao about on subsequent visits. I said, was this something that, since Baba wasn't moving about much at that time, you did for his circulation? He said, no, Or was it just kind of a massage that he enjoyed, or no? So what was it, Val? It was just an opportunity he gave me to serve him.
How shall I be in my life? What shall I do? We should not get lost in that reading at all. First of all, we must try to find out where I am placed in the whole scheme of things. In the entire creation, where am I? And Baba has easily, he has given it in his God Speaks, where am I? Where does the human form come and all that? And why is that? All the explanations are given to him. And further on, what I have got to do when I have got the human form. And as I said, it's a complete dedication to him. I get everything I have, it is his. Everything he gives me. Whatever I suffer, it is his. Whatever happiness I experience, it is his. If I have plenty of money, it is his. If tomorrow I lose everything, it is his. If I have a beautiful wife today, it is his. Tomorrow if she goes away, it is his. Work, it is his doing. If I got a beautiful son today, I am very happy, he gives me. He takes it away, it is his, that's all. This is the detachment we should have. And this detachment can only be practiced by yourself, by substantially attaching yourself to him. So the rest of the attachments all fall through, and they do not have sway over you at all. Your own life, he keeps you as you are, he makes no changes, excepting for the fundamental change that when you dedicate your life to him, he gives it back to you and says, this is not your life, this is my life. And you look after it as a trustee. So you can't afford to displease him. You have the responsibility of a trustee with you. You can't just do anything you like in the world. You have to keep him pleased all the time. Your free will is there, your sense of discrimination is there, your mind is there, your thoughts are there. Everything as it is completely given back to you. He doesn't make any changes at all. Yes.
If we have focus with these little decisions, is that bothering him too much?
No, it will not bother him. You can ask. It will not bother him at all. Anything you can ask, but ask as a child. As a child, ask the mother, and the mother gives. All the things, at least my experience has taught me, all things pertaining to spirituality and carrying out of Baba's instructions and orders are most difficult and most easy. If carried out through our sense of love, through our sense of loyalty to him, service and obedience, they become very, very easy. Otherwise they become most difficult. And wherever the difficulty arises, it really puts all our love, all our obedience to a test. That's why Baba has said, be attached to everything. Apparently attached to everything. This is my surmise, these are not Baba's words. Apparently attached to everything and substantially detached to everything. Or the more positive way is apparently attached to everything and substantially attached to MeherBaba. There are two ways. In fact, supposing we have to cleanse our mind, it is like a bathroom, which is all covered over with filth and dirt of our actions, the commissions and omissions of our actions, their impressions and so forth. It is to be cleaned. Now there are two ways of cleaning it. You step into the bathroom, pick up particle after particle and throw away. I do not know, a lifetime may not be enough. It will be too long a process. And that is a process I call a negative process, which is not really practical at all. Instead of that, the most positive for a Baba lover, most positive way is to
just lift up a bucket of Meher Baba's love and splash it in the bathroom, and everything gets washed up. If it comes back again, take another bucket and splash it. If it comes back again, take another bucket and splash it. You go on doing like this. Maybe in doing once, you may be able to cleanse everything. If you do not cleanse once, you will cleanse the second time, third time, or more number of times. So this is very positive way of doing it, and that is why our attachment, substantial attachment, is to him is really needed.
But he is Meher Baba, one should know. He knows everything. And in time to come. Well, I started feeling myself very great and very high. Little realizing that it was the greatness that was given to me by Baba, it was not my own at all. But this realization came to me later, when Baba brought me down and almost crushed under his heels like this, and made me feel that my position was this, and that the height that I felt, it was given to me by him. It did not belong to me at all, and I must come down and do my wholehearted service to him, and I should not see that my ego, you see, gets so much raised up. So I say, fortunate were the persons whose ego was raised sky high, but more fortunate are the persons who were brought down to almost become the dust of his feet. And those, probably they were not destined for that, or Baba had other more important work, he had no time, that those persons who were raised high and were not brought down are just hanging there, dangling there all the time. They think that they are very great. So ego is such a thing that a man tries to curb it. Once a man tried to overcome his ego. He did to a certain extent. He underwent many self-effacing acts in his life. And then what happened? करके खुद ही से मायले पिंडार हो गए, आजाद होते होते गिरफ्तार हो गए. He tried to go in for self-effacement. He succeeded, but then he got into another arrogance, another pride, that I am the man who have renounced my ego. So the very thing he wanted to do it, he did it to a certain extent, he succeeded. And on the other hand, he developed another ego, which was bigger than the first. So better he would have never tried it, and had never gotten this bigger ego for himself. So this ego business is at the bottom of everything, and the most mischievous thing, and the thing that really deceives us. And if you really ask me, it is not possible for any human attempt to get over it completely. It is only by the grace and the blessings of the Master that you can get over it. But you have to become deserving to receive that blessings. I call myself a Meher Baba lover. Naturally, I have to obey him, to serve him, and to love him, and get established in my love. But as I say, love is not the only thing that is enough. I have to have a conviction. Once I asked Baba a question, what is the meaning of conviction? Somebody had asked a question to Baba, and I was present there as the interpreter. He asked a question, what do you mean by conviction, Baba? So Baba said, conviction is a thing wherein anything that is felt by the heart is backed up by the mind, and anything that the mind thinks is backed up by the heart. Of course, those things that pertain to our duties of life, our responsibilities. There are many stray thoughts come and go that doesn't interfere at all. The 10th of July, of course, we always observed, and Baba wished it and wanted it. Certain persons who came there, that was Baba's responsibility. I do admit that as an alternative, he asked them to fast when they asked for it. But I am sure Baba didn't want it. But he was the Master, he is the Lord, he can do and undo things. He can say one thing and get another thing done by him. But after he left his body, he has not left instructions that on every 10th of July you must observe silence. But I shall ask you a question. What do we do for Meher Baba? We accept him as the Lord of the universe, as the avatar of the age. Just repeat these words and there it is. And in 1 year once, can you not observe silence for 24? It gives us its remembrance all day long. It makes us possible to withdraw all our thoughts from, thoughts may go on, but because the activity is not there, and we are not able to express our thoughts, it gives us a rest and you will feel yourself so much composed, and the whole day passes off in the thought of Meher Baba. Shall we not do this once a year?
In the hand of a wise man or a sensible man is used for shaving, but a razor in the hand of a monkey, who can guarantee that? I do not know. Who can sir vouch for it, and who can guarantee what future is going to bring? I would put it this way: if future is going to make all these turn into ceremonies, then it will be the concern of Baba himself. And if it goes on like this for a few hundred years, and if things go on solidifying themselves into ceremonies, Baba will come back again after 700 years. To my view, the marginal line, the line of demarcation between ceremony and no ceremony is, objectively it may be anything. It may be aarti, it may be the waving of lamp, it may be any prayer, a recitation of any name of God or Baba with love, pouring our heart into it. It doesn't become a ceremony at all.
It only becomes a ceremony. I have to go to attend my office. I am late in rising early morning, and I have to offer certain prayers. So I just go to Baba's picture, mutter some words, pass, mechanically, just for the matter of finishing up the job and go out. That becomes a ceremony. It should not be so. So the dividing line between ceremony and no ceremony is really difficult to understand and not difficult to understand both. So anything that you recite or perform or act upon or do, which your love in it, is not a ceremony. If it is mechanically done, with no interest in it for the time being, it becomes a ceremony. The fact remains that the act of throwing a stone, a stick into the fire symbolizes the act which should follow necessarily. It is not only the act of throwing the stick in it at all. It is to be followed by the man who has to do a certain thing, and one at a time. Baba has given the opportunity. Supposing I may have 10 weaknesses, so I am not able to overcome them all. Every year I can just take a stick and symbolize it and give up. But if I do not give it up and only go and stand there near the dhuni and throw the stick in it, nothing is going to happen.
Only the poorest and lowliest and the lost. The poorest, lowliest and lost.
As my experience goes, he was always very loving indeed. But if he has something in mind for you, he makes you go through a great mental suffering and even a torture. It is not a torture in the sense that we would have torture in the world because of our misdeeds or because of any other reasons. They are joyful tortures, just as the mother suffers for the child. Baba suffers for us and makes us suffer also. But there is a suffering. During the latter years, say about 6 or 7 years before Baba left his body, I was given a very peculiar treatment by him all along, and I could not realize what it all meant.
I could not say anything to the Mandali. I could not. It was only I who had to just bear up with the situation, and I started feeling very badly about it. But of course, the strength was there, Baba is there, his ways are there, we have lived with Baba for such a long. Even so, once what happened? Faram, who is my typist and steno, he comes out and says, certain note was sent by Baba to me. Somebody may have written, Eric may have written, or Mani may have written. The person who writes is not responsible, it is Baba who makes him write, or makes her write. And it was such a sort of a letter that when Faram read it, he says, Adi, I do not know how you are able to stick to this office. If I was in your place, I would go away from here. I said, Faram, what's the good of going away after living with Baba for so many years? And if Baba treats us well, then we stay there. And supposing apparently he treats us and we go away, what is our relationship with MeherBaba? That doesn't mean, that did not mean that I did not feel. I felt very deeply. The time passed on. And of course, when Baba left his body on the 31st of January 69, and later on, I do not know, I felt that all the so-called treatment and ill-treatment that Baba gave was really a blessing in disguise, because after that I could stick to my office and do the work, or else I do not know what would I have done. I may not have lived in my house or in my office, gone away, did anything to myself I could not really say, but it was because of that he tried to keep me aloof and strengthen me, and I appreciated that it was blessing in disguise.
दर्द का हद से गुजरना है दवा हो जाना, इशरत कतरा है दरिया में फना हो जाना means it is the delight of the drop to go and merge itself into the ocean. That's the ocean of love, MeherBaba. I am a drop, he is the ocean. Suffering at its height becomes the remedy of the sufferer's plight. All of us are so conscious of suffering. All of us want to avoid suffering, and unfortunately the path which leads to a happiness, unending happiness, is covered over with thorns and a great suffering. That's why the need of the Master is there. We have to pass through the suffering. The world has to pass through a certain suffering. And Baba does not create a miracle, he does not change our destiny at all, but all he does is to take our suffering upon himself, to lighten our suffering for individual and for the whole world,
I have come to a conclusion that the longer the period before God realization, the greater the power one gets, and the power is not for oneself, but the power to give that God realization to others. And our relationship with Baba is not of one life at all. It is not like our relationship with a saint or even with a perfect master, because the perfect master, when he drops his body, he is not connected with illusion at all. Here is the one, the avatar, all along. What if I do not get realization in this way? He is going to come back again, or maybe in some other birth, it is definitely there. But what's the good of giving you God realization, which will be only helpful to you, and for your bliss, for your power, for your knowledge? Can you part with it? Can you give to somebody? And to give it to somebody means a great suffering. To acquire such samskaras or prarabdha or yoga samskaras by which you are able to part that to somebody else. And however long it may take, Baba doesn't mind. Because one who really loves Baba and one who really obeys him, I think his name is already registered. He has not to worry at all. The only question is when he puts the switch on and the light comes. What we try to do is, there are people who come and within a short contact with Baba, they expect that the lamp should get lighted. This lamp is lighted when I press the button on. Because of what? Because of the powerhouse that is there at the back. Because the line is laid, the poles are laid, the entire preparation is made, and then at the fag end of it, when the lamp is there and the switch is there, the switch is put on, in a flash of, you get the lamp. But you get the light. Others, what do they expect? They don't bother about the things that are there by way of preparation at all. The powerhouse, the line, the poles, and all the arrangement, they do not bother about it at all. What they say, they take a small wire, fix it up in the house, and a lamp there and a switch, and go on pressing all that light, and there is no lamp at all. And there is no light. So we have to understand things, taking this at the background, as to who Avatar is and what does he do, and how things would be really guaranteed for us, provided there is but, big but, and a sign of interrogation on the top of the but is